I'm starting to get some flashbacks from my middle school gym class, and not the good kind. The Friends Forever series kicks off the year with issue number 24 starring Rarity and Gilda. Gilda wants Rarity to make some new uniforms for a Boffy-ball team in Griffinstone, but when she gets there, she finds a bigger problem that needs to be addressed. So what's good? The comic was able to alleviate two worries that I had going into it. The first being Rarity. As much as I love her, she does tend to steal the show on occasion, sometimes in issues where she's not even the starring character. We still get a little of that here in this comic, specifically in the beginning, but it's not to the degree of, say, the Cakes in Friends Forever 19. You don't get the feeling that Gilda is thrown to the side in favor of her co-star. The Griffin still gets to shine here, especially in the middle. It makes for a story where Rarity takes the first third, Gilda becomes the focus in the middle, and both characters bring it on home in the end. My second worry about the issue was its writer, Georgia Ball. The last MLP comic she wrote was Celestia's micro issue, which was a good story, but it came out way back in 2013. With it being so long since her last Pony comic, I was wondering if Ball had fallen out of practice, and I'm happy to say that that's not the case. Like the Celestia micro, this issue has a character that we don't really see that often facing a dilemma, and we learn more about them by seeing how they deal with it. Gilda's problem with standing up to someone she admires is somewhat reminiscent of Wonderbolt's Academy, which coincidentally stars her old friend Rainbow Dash. Both Gilda and Dash see something that they know is wrong and struggle to confront their superiors about it. The main difference here lies in the fact that Gilda's superior is the source of the problem, and also how Gilda handles her situation. While she and Dash are similar characters, it's here where we see the key differences between them. Rainbow Dash is much stronger in her convictions than Gilda is. While she did hesitate in front of Spitfire at first, at the end of the day she stood up for what she thought was right, and made the decision on her own. She wasn't going to sacrifice her morals just to keep her chance to be a Wonderbolt, and she was willing to quit the team because of that. Gilda, on the other hand, had a much harder time. On top of Dash being more firm with her beliefs, Gilda is also more easily intimidated and more easily influenced. She knew that Coach Klaus was being too hard on Fire Gem, but Klaus was her hero, and she couldn't separate the image of him in her head from what she was seeing right in front of her. And not only did she back down, but she even started acting like him, and Rarity had to push her in the right direction more than once. These differences help to show that Gilda is more than just a Griffin version of Rainbow Dash, and that she has her own personal struggles that set her apart. Finally, I really liked the moral of the story. When Coach Klaus is first introduced, it's explained that Boffy-ball was a sport that was originally exclusive to non-flying creatures, and Klaus helped pave the way for Griffins and other flying species to be able to play in the league. However, while his influence on the game was worthy of respect, he acted like a jerk in person. The comic showed that while your actions and your position may be worthy of respect, it doesn't automatically mean you deserve the respect that comes with those things. It doesn't give you a license to treat people however you want. You still need to be a good person. It also shows that you can't let your admiration for someone blind you from the things they do, and while they may be someone you look up to, they might not necessarily be the people you want to emulate. So what's not so good? Foss gets art. Let's see how much I can say without repeating myself. Again, his work in the comic does one thing well, in this case Gilda's design, but everything else is just questionable at best. The Griffins look decent enough with their varied designs, but the ponies still look deformed, and when the Yaks make an appearance, you wonder if he even tried. Greta also makes an appearance in this story, but she's not even close to her show model. Others have pointed out Grandpa Gruff as well, but he's not actually called by name in the comic, so he could easily be another elderly Griffin. Still, the overall look of this issue isn't very appealing, and for readers who are picky about who does the art for each issue, this could cause them to pass up what is otherwise a strong story. Finally, let's get a small nitpick out the way. Flying creatures are allowed into the Boffy-ball League under the condition that they do not fly during the game. Doing so would result in being ejected. When Coach Klaus yells at Gilda, he starts flying in anger and suffers that penalty, but he's not playing. He's the coach. You would think that the no flying rule would only apply to the players, you know, the ones that are actually playing the game. Would that mean that cheerleaders wouldn't be allowed to fly either? Whatever, like I said, it's a nitpick. While the presentation drags it down a little, Friends Forever 24 was a good way to start the series' 2016 run. Maybe every year should begin with a rarity issue. If you can get past the art style, there's an enjoyable story that I would recommend to anyone that needs more Gilda in their life. Next month, Rainbow Dash gets her wings stolen? February is always the weird month. So what did you think of Friends Forever 24? Swarm that comment section below or bug me on social media, and consider supporting me through Patreon or PayPal art commissions. Until next time, keep it sketchy, folks.